Shaun Livingston didn't beat Cleveland with thunder. He beat him with patience, balance, and a jump shot so clean it felt like a personal boundary. This is June 2nd, 2016, game one of the NBA Finals. Cavaliers Warriors. This is the rematch everybody wanted because the year before was too incomplete to feel settled. Cleveland had LeBron James back on the final stage for the sixth year in a row. Not Cleveland, LeBron, from his time with the Heat. But this time, Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love, they were both standing upright. Golden State had the title, the swagger, and a 73-win season. But they just had to crawl out of a 3-1 hole against OKC to even get this far. So this wasn't a normal opener. It was the league's two biggest forces staring each other down. Cleveland wanted proof that 2015 would have gone differently had it been healthy. Golden State wanted proof that 73-9 wasn't just a shiny number with a trapdoor under. And then game one started to get weird. Not bad. Warriors weird. The kind where Steph Curry and Klay Thompson don't have it. And the other team looks around in the fourth quarter like, wait, why are we still down 15? And that's where Shaun Livingston comes in. He was born in Peoria, Illinois, and he was one of those players who felt older than his age, even when he was young. He was a long guard, smooth handle, tall enough to see overpressure, calm enough to make the game feel slower. He started high school at Peoria Central. He was Illinois Mr. Basketball, a McDonald's All-American, and he was supposed to go to Duke before he ended up skipping college entirely. In 2004, the Clippers took him fourth overall. That version of Livingston was a dream. 6'7" point guard, skinny as a rumor, with that glidey, almost sleepy way of moving. He could pass over smaller guards, post them, shoot over them, and defend multiple spots before everybody started calling that modern. He was early for the league that eventually he helped define. Then, February 26, 2007, Livingston went up for a layup against Charlotte and came down wrong. Badly wrong. It's the kind of injury people still talk about with their face tightening. Knee destroyed, career in doubt. Not out for the season, doubt. More like, will this guy walk right again? That kind. And that's the real Livingston story. Not just that he came back. Lots of guys come back. He came back without becoming a sentimental mascot. He came back and became useful, then valuable. Eventually, he became essential. There were stops everywhere. Miami, Oklahoma City, Washington, Charlotte, Milwaukee, Cleveland, Brooklyn. He went from franchise savior to medical question to journeyman to grown-up basketball player. By the time he got to Golden State in 2014, he wasn't just a prospect anymore. He was the answer to a very specific question. What happens to Golden State when Steph sits? The answer is Shaun Livingston. No panic, no chaos. Just take the ball, get to 12 feet, rise up, and put another little knife in the defense. Everybody wanted the Warriors to be math class with sneakers, three-pointers, pace, spacing, analytics, all that. Yet, obviously, but Livingston was the counterspell. He's the mid-range jumper they didn't really need, supposedly. He was the old school tool inside the new school machine. Golden State didn't win by being one thing. They won because they had options. Game one showed that in bright yellow. Cleveland did plenty right away. They were physical. Kyrie attacked. LeBron was LeBron. Kevin Love gave them real production, which they didn't have in the 2015 finals after his shoulder injury. The Cavs even led 68-67 late in the third. That should have been the moment where the star narrative took over. Curry had 11 points. Klay had 9. If you're Cleveland, that's the whole plan. Hold the Splash Bros to 20 combined. Steal game one on the road. That's a dream, not a strategy. Only the Warriors had Shaun Livingston sitting in the middle, turning the dream into a paperwork problem. So Livingston came off the bench and hit his first few looks like he'd been saving them up. Little turnaround, pull up from the elbow, cut into space, catch, rise, release. No wasted motion. He wasn't hunting highlights. He was hunting comfort. His comfort, Cleveland's discomfort, same possession. The Warriors bench flipped the game. Livingston had 20 points on 8 for 10 shooting. Andre Iguodala gave them his usual adult supervision. Leandro Barbosa went 5 for 5. Golden State's resources outscored Cleveland's bench 45 to 10. It's less like a stat and more like a home invasion. Livingston's jumper was almost rude because it didn't argue with anybody. Steph's three-pointers made people scream. Clay's heater makes the building levitate. Draymond's plays come with a whole debate show attached. Livingston's jumper just arrived, parked, and asked you to sign. Bureaucratic violence. Stamp, stamp, stamp. Approved. By the fourth quarter, the game had become a Warriors' proof of concept. Cleveland limited the headliners. Golden State still had the better ecosystem. Draymond Green finished with 16 points, 11 boards, and 7 assists. Harrison Barnes chipped in. Andrew Bogut gave them early finishing. The ball kept moving. The defense kept holding. And the Cavs kept discovering another grown man in a blue jersey who could hurt them. Livingston's biggest work came in that stretch from late third into early fourth, when Golden State started to separate. The Cavs had made their push. Oracle was a little tense. Kerr at one point chopped a clipboard because coaches are just babies with suits when the game gets sideways. But the Warriors steadied the boat. Livingston was the steady. That's why this game fits them so well. It wasn't a 40-point explosion or a buzzer beater. For the series, it was better than that. It was a reminder the Warriors weren't just Steph. They weren't just Clay. They weren't even just the death lineup. They were a layered problem. And Livingston's one of the layers that teams forgot about until he was already at the elbow. After the game, the coverage had the same theme everywhere. Strength in numbers, not just marketing stuff. It was the game plan. Curry said you don't win titles without the whole squad making an impact. Kerr said it wasn't surprising to the Warriors because this had been their team for years. Livingston said they believed in each other and picked each other up. LeBron basically gave the cleanest opposing scouting report. When their bench beats you 45 to 10, doesn't matter how you handle Steph and Clay. Ty Lue had the worst homework. Cleveland had done the thing you're supposed to do. The Cavs turned the Splash Brothers into regular guys for one night. Still lost by 15. That's a bad math problem. It's like locking the front door and finding Livingston sitting in your kitchen. Golden State won 104-89 and took a 1-0 series lead. At that moment, it looked like the Warriors were 3 wins from stealing the greatest season ever. 73 wins, back-to-back titles, a comeback over OKC, then a finals win where the Stars didn't even need to cook. And then history got a little weird. The Warriors won Game 2 big. Cleveland punched back in Game 3. Golden State won Game 4, and Cleveland took a 3-1 series lead. Then Draymond got suspended for Game 5. Andrew Bogut got hurt. LeBron and Kyrie went nuclear, and the series became mythological. Cleveland came all the way back and won Game 7, 93-89. The Warriors' 73-win season became both immortal and haunted. That's the weird part about this episode. Livingston Game 1 didn't lead to the ring, didn't become the first step of the perfect ending, but it still matters. Sometimes the point of a game isn't what it finished. Sometimes it's what it revealed. This one revealed the Warriors' depth at its cleanest. It revealed Livingston's full second act. Showed a player who had every excuse to become a sad story instead of becoming a problem in the finals. Golden State responded to the 2016 ending by adding Kevin Durant. Sounds illegal. Livingston stayed, kept doing his job, and won 2 more championships in 2017 and 2018. He reached 5 straight finals with the Warriors. By the end, he had 3 rings as a player, a reputation as one of the league's great comeback stories, and that jumper everybody could still picture without needing a clip. He retired in 2019 after 15 seasons. Then he moved into the Warriors front office as Director of Player Affairs and Engagement, helping from the other side as Golden State won another title in 2022. He later stepped away from that role to focus on family, and in 2024, he joined the Oakland Roots and Soul Ownership Group. Feels right. Livingston's Warriors years were Oakland years. The town wasn't just scenery. It was part of the story. So Warrior 35 belongs to Shaun Livingston because this is the night the quiet man got loud without ever raising his voice. A career can be a straight line. Most aren't. Livingston's was a broken line, then a repaired line, somehow then a championship line. That's not luck, it's craft. It's patience. That's refusing to let the worst day of your life get the last word. Next up, we go to Astro 60, Alex Bregman, October 26, 2019. World Series Game 4, Astros Nationals. Houston dropped the first two at home, then clawed back in Washington. Bregman, after looking stuck for too much of October, walked into the seventh inning with the bases loaded and decided the series needed the noise. But now that's next time. For now, Warrior 35 is Shaun Livingston, the comeback, the calm, the Midrange Tax Collector. Sometimes the loudest statement in the finals is just a man rising from 12 feet again and again, while everybody else realizes too late. The quiet guy's been killing him all night. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.